You know what time it is. It's time to get jacked up for Jesus, and we're shooting a special video this week. This one's actually going to be a little chronological adventure here of a weekend in the life of Jacked Up and his family. Today we decided to head out to Griffin Sculpture Park outside of Ellicottive, New York. If you guys get a chance, I'll put maybe a link down. And as you can tell, I'm breathing heavy because I'm fat and out of shape, trying to keep up with everybody. You know, and it's one of those things. As I'm walking here, I'm thinking it's just like anything else. You got to prepare yourself in life, and I'm 100% not prepared to be walking around these distances at this grade level. So, you know, I'm praying to make it up to the top, and by the grace of God, I get to spend time with my family and enjoy this time, and hopefully I continue to breathe by the time I make it to the top. I'll check in a little bit. God bless you. We'll see you in a little bit. So here we're approaching the top of this hike. You can see what looks to be the castle. To me, it represents the kingdom. And making it to the kingdom is, like I said, the struggle that we just had trying to get up here. It's just like the struggle in life. And if you're not prepared, you're going to be out of breath. You want to stop at the bottom of the hill and just say, forget this, but you just got to keep going. We're going to make it up here to this castle, God willing. And here we are.
Okay, stop. You're in Crocs that are all wet.
This is good. This is what you get to see. You get to see the day in the life of the Jacked Up. But you know what? What's so foreshadowing here, so ironic, so epic to me is as I said, this is the kingdom. You have the children playing in the kingdom, and it's just like what Jesus said. He said that the children are of my kingdom, and we're to think of his child. And these kids right now, they're just having a good time playing, not worried about all the responsibility that comes when you're an adult, and all the different stuff. So, and actually, now that I'm at the top of the pinnacle of the kingdom here, I was able to catch my breath and feel a lot better. Feel a lot better now that I'm here. So, see you in a little bit. So, we made it back to the truck. Finished the adventure here. By the grace of God, because some of us barely make it down the hill without tripping and falling on themselves. So we're on to the next adventure, just like in life. You just never know where you're gonna end up, and so we're headed off now. We're gonna see what happens. So keep staying tuned, and hopefully with my wife driving, we're gonna make it. So if you can make it through that, you pretty much can make it through anything in life. So we're at destination 2, and it's very hard. I gotta speak loud here. We got a cottage out on the lake, and as you can see, the weather's bad. It's just like that video I shot, Waves of Adversity. As you can see out into the lake, look at those waves coming in. You know, it's not really ideally a good day for this, but we're gonna make the best of it, just like the best we can do in life, you know. And I'm just glad the sun's out and shining. The best we can do is just make the best of what we have. Cottage we're staying in, there's no heat. The heat hasn't been turned on yet, so it's going to be an interesting night. But we'll make do. We're all alive. We're all breathing. We're just blessed to be here today and spend the day as a family. And maybe we'll spend some time maybe playing some board games or doing something where we can all just come together. And it's the same thing while you guys are out there watching these videos. If you get an opportunity just to spend that little bit of alone time with your family, I mean, it's not always the best situations, as you can see, but we're going to try to make the best of it here. So at least we're here. We'll see how the night goes, and check in a couple minutes, maybe an hour, maybe 2. We'll see. So, like I said before, we didn't have any heat in our cottage here, and just like anything in life, when adversity hits, you have to use your mind. You have to overcome some things when it starts to get down into the 30s and you start freezing and you realize you don't have any heat. So one of the places, one of the things that we had here was a dryer and a washer set up, and through our redneck ingenuity, we have now rigged up a heating system using the dryer to warm the house. And it's one of those things that God has given us. He's given us the ability to reason and use logic, and those are some things that we take for granted. We take for granted as far as having that reason and logic and free will to go out and take what God gives us and make it work so we can survive in life. Let me take a little look at the little thing we got going on over here. Decided to hook the hose up, run it into over here to heat up our little cottage we got going on here. And without this heat, we'd be suffering tonight. You know what I mean? That are a lot of snuggling to try to keep warm. And there's definitely not enough people here to snuggle to keep us warm. But you know what? It's about making do and seeing what we got ahead of us. So stay tuned. Well, as you can see, we made it through the night, and if you look in the back here, the ocean, yeah, right, the lake, the waves that subside. We've made it through the storm. Everyone's still alive and breathing. Just waiting for the next adventure this morning. And just a little disclaimer on that redneck heating system. If you watch this video and you try that at home, make sure it's not a gas dryer. That was an electric dryer we're using. You don't want to mess around with gas dryers. So if you're out there and you're like, wow, that sounds like a good idea, make sure you know what you're doing, or you're gonna, you can put your life in jeopardy, and we don't want that to happen. But yeah, woke up this morning just a little tired, but we're ready to take on the world. And we'll see you in a little bit. So we're at our next destination. Typical October stuff going on here with pumpkins. And well, you see up here in Western New York, they got this little thing called corn mazes, which I don't know about you, a lot of scary movies have things happening in corn, children of the corn running out. Everything I've ever seen in scary movies, you run into the corn, you don't come back out. And people do this for fun. So we're about to try to do this for fun. And, just like Field of Dreams, where they, get ghosts coming out of the corn, and people think that that's cool. But Jacked Up don't think it's that cool, but Jacked Up's going to do what his family wants to do right now. So we'll see if we can make it through the maze. So here we are, walking through the corn. Like I said, up here in Western New York, this is kind of fun that you have. We've already lost 2 people from our group in the corn. And it's just like life, trying to walk around this corn and figure out things, because I'll tell you what, like I've already told you, bad things happen in corn.
Bad things happen in the corn, Dad.
They do. Just like when you get off the trail, the real trail of life, and you start going down these paths that things weren't intended for. I have no idea where everybody just went. You want to look around? Okay, I think I'm gonna go this way. All right, I better stop. I'll get back to you. Remember earlier in the video where I said God gives us certain things to make things and survive? Well, we've been walking around this corn maze for a while, and I was thinking to myself, sometimes God gives us things and we make them into things that were never intended to be, and bad things happen. Kind of like walking around in circles in this corn maze. So, yeah, we're still walking around. So, we made it out of the corn maze, and yeah, we decided to, the people at the beginning said it was only going to take about 15 minutes. Well, we decided to quadruple that today, and decided to see every single corn cob that they possibly had for some reason. And I don't know why people do this. It's cool if you guys want to come out and do these kind of things, but for me, waking up in the morning is like an escape room and a corn maze. Half the time I'm running around trying to find my keys, my cell phone. It also shows you that not everything in life, like I said earlier, it can be good, for you. Just because it came from God doesn't mean that, it was meant for you to do, or, if you're tempted by something. Like, I know for me, I started getting a little anxious in there and put myself in a position where, I was getting a little anxious because we kept on walking in circles. And sometimes you put yourself in a position that maybe you shouldn't. And, but I made it through. We all made it through. Like I said, 15 minutes sometimes turns into an hour or 45 minutes. So we'll check in a little bit. So here's the situation. We're going to wrap up this video. The last two destinations that we went to, my phone went dead, and actually one of the events was closed when we got there. Everything was closing down, so there wasn't much video to shoot. So plus last night I started feeling kind of sick and had some issues going on there. Decided to pick up a piece of driftwood thinking I was 23 again, not realizing that I was 43. And just like anything, God, yeah, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, but you also, God has designed you to get older and know your limitations. So I decided to pick up a piece of driftwood yesterday for somebody, and yeah, it went really well in the beginning. So I really enjoy shooting some of these, this video of just a little glimpse of what we do here on the weekend sometimes when we get together. Um, it's just like I said earlier in the video, if you get time to spend with your family and check out the many blessings of God, because I think sometimes life goes by so fast you don't just stop just to even look at, like going to a sculpture park and seeing the things that people created with their hands, and they just sit there for 50 or 60 years and just be at awe that people took the time to design that kind of stuff. And yeah, I was busting on the corn maze a lot, but a lot of time and effort went into that so that people can enjoy themselves and come out. And one of the ladies at the corn maze actually said that it was the best money she spent in a very long time because she was having so much fun with her family, being lost, going in circles in a corn maze. So, yeah, this has just been a quick glimpse that to show you that the jacked up guy is human, and he has some things going on in his life, and really enjoy shooting these videos, and hope you stay tuned and keep watching our channel, Lisa Saints EPH38. If you like these videos, please like and subscribe. Plenty of videos. We have about 50-60 videos on there. We try to cover as many topics as we possibly can, and we do the best we can with what the gifts God has given us to share his word to people that possibly need to hear it, don't need to hear it. And we're here to let you all know that we're out there just to love on you, and that we understand what it's like to be the least and be lost in that woods, and be looking, like I said in one of my videos, for that flare up in the air, and Jesus Christ, and just to walk towards that flare and to find salvation. So we'll see you next time when we decide to get jacked up for Jesus. Sorry we weren't able to shoot the last part of the video. We got in late last night. So it wouldn't have been that interesting. We're all walking around like a bunch of zombies anyways, trying to just figure out how we're going to just, crash and fall asleep. So, but just want to say I love y'all. God bless. We'll see you next time when we get jacked up.